We are moving into transformations of functions, and just as a review, we are going to be kind of looking at non-sine and cosine graphs as a reminder of how to do this. So the parent function for this one, for example, is going to be x squared. It's our parent function. The only thing that we're transforming here is this 5 out front, and that's a vertical stretch by 5. Now the rule, if you had me last semester, you might remember, if it happens inside, goes opposite to the x, and outside goes to the y. So since the 5 is outside, it'll go to the y, and this will be our rule. So this function is absolute value. This one has two things happening, the negative and the 1/3. So this was the other thing I always wrote down, right? Vertical and horizontal. So the vertical, the negative on the outside will flip it vertically top to bottom, so that's over the x-axis. So flip over the x, and then a vertical compression by 1/3. So my rule on this one will be nothing is happening inside, everything is happening on the outside. Not so much on this last one. It'll be a flip over the y because it's inside, moving from left to right. And this will be a horizontal compression, because we're going to flip the fraction by 3/4. Remember, inside does opposite of what you think. So my rule here will be negative 3/4 x, comma y. There's nothing on the outside of this one. So I'm hoping you remember this as we go about and do an example together. So this one is asking us to complete the table for cosine first. So I'm going to do this. Negative pi over 2, 0. Oops, I forgot regular pi. Oopsies. Hopefully you weren't writing yours in pen. Pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. So now I've got a good range. Cosine starts at 1, and if you can see the little circle up here, if you need help filling that out, this is one of those tables I will always give you the parent table. And then I'm going to plot, and each of these is going to be a pi over 2. So now I've changed it to really just thinking about what's happening every 90 degrees, because at cosine 2, 4, 6, so here will be 1. At cosine, it's easy to, or at any of them, it's easy to just graph the critical points which happen at the 90s. You can fill in those little dots, towards the end. So it wanted us to do from negative 2 pi to 4 pi. That's kind of a lot of cycles. So get a few of them in here. The amplitude is 1. So from the middle to the bottom, or the middle to the top. The period is 2 pi, and the midline is y equals 0. Similar for sine, I'm going to go from negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi. Oops, did it again. Skipping pi. And 0, and then it goes up and down. Oopsies. And then you should be able to graph this one as well. And you should be better than me with labeling all your points and stuff like that, but you can stop and take the time to do that. So these are like your parent functions. The amplitude is 1, period 2 pi, midline y equals 0. Examples are coming up next.